Okay, the machine we're using here today is a all-terrain hydraulic crane, which is diesel over hydraulics. It's a diesel motor pushing hydraulic pumps. The hydraulics control the machine all over the system, i.e. pushing the boom out, lifting the boom up, slewing, all that sort of thing. The basic principles of the machine is it works on forces of leverage. So the further you go with the machine, the less you can actually lift. When you bring the machine onto site, it comes in a base model. It would be running on the tires. Obviously it's set up to lift as it's standing now, and then you'd have to pack on the counterweights onto the machine. The heavier the lift would be that you're lifting, the more counterweights you pack on. The support base of the crane is called outriggers on the crane, and they exert the force of the actual machine onto 4 points over it. It's a square base that the machine stands on. Underneath the outriggers we put mats onto the ground to exert the forces over a bigger area. When we're working out the radiuses, it's absolutely critical to put the machine at the right radius. Otherwise, if the machine is too far out or too close, your complete calculation is put out. When we work out exactly where the crane has to stand, we stand the crane as close to the load as possible with clearing the boom from the load, because you obviously don't want a fouling on where the load is touching into the boom, because then you could have a structural failure. So you'd have to get distance from the load with the length of the boom, and that's where you'd work out your radius from, standing as close as possible to the actual load itself, because then you can get away with using a smaller machine, which saves the client costs at the end of the day. On this specific machine itself, it's actually running 2 separate engines. From about a 90-ton all-terrain machine, it'll have 2 engines. The one engine is based on the front of the machine, where you can see the cab on the front there. That engine is solely for operating the outriggers and also for the machine's travel on the road. Then it has got a completely separate engine on the upper, which we call the superstructure of the machine, which is the top piece from the slew ring up. That motor only controls the hydraulic pumps on the crane, which operate the booming up and booming down, the extending of the boom and the retracting of the boom, and the slewing of the machine, which is the turning of it, because it turns on a turntable at the top of the crane. And then it also controls the hook up and down, which is worked on a winch, which we would call hoisting.